Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We are all set for the first game of Group D, AMRITSAR, Punjab, where we are live from the GNU Sports Complex, and it is the 28th Senior Women's National Football Championship. This match is between two contrasting teams, two teams that will really like to bear down their arsenal to start this tournament on a victorious note. We have Ladakh hailing all the way from the mountains, taking on, well, this is the starting 11 for Ladakh. Ravina, the goalkeeper, Dishkit Chostol, Rigzin Dolkar, Jigmet Chuzain, Stonskit Dolma, Jigmet Palbo, the skipper, Sonam Korol, Stanzin Chondol, Padma Rigzin, Muskan, and Neha. And they are playing under the likes of Karma, Gelek, Fonsak. That's the starting 11 for Jharkhand. Payal Kumari, Priyatama Turkey, Kranti Orao, Babita Kumari, Chamni Kumari, the captain, Malti Munda, Pooja Kumari, Punita Kumari, Sangeeta Hansak, Lalita Boypai, Anisha Orao, the goalkeeper, and they are playing under Gobind Saha. That's the subs for you, the likes of Sona Mangmo, Tsal Yangzis, and Chunit Zangmo, the other ones to watch out for. Also, the likes of Pushpa Devi can be a serious asset to Ladakh. For Jharkhand, though, the Sandhya Topno, the goalkeeper, she is a very experienced campaigner. And Mariam Tegga, Parnita Turkey, they make a wonderful side as well. So, of course, heading out to the center, dressed in their signature stripes, both the sides hoping to kickstart this campaign on an absolute roll. And GNU Sports Complex that stayed witness to this time's the group stages of the men's National Football Championship. Once again, all set to host this encounter. And now the ground looks a lot more revamped, a lot more clean, and to be honest, somewhat prepared to host such a high octane battle. Both the teams are shaking hands there, exchanging pleasantries just to ensure the fact that before the rivalry spills out onto the ground, they will be pouring their hearts out. The officials for the day, the match referee, Fahad Yusuf Kapyarakat, the assistant referees, Anson Cianto, Jasim Moke, and the match official, Rohan M. Nagansur. Well, of course, all very experienced names indeed. Match commissioner is Ms. Sudeshna Mukherjee. And it's going to be me, Rohit, whom you've of course encountered previously, will be taking you through this encounter. So, welcome everyone once again to the GNU Sports Complex. Quick words between the referees, of course. The photographing session before the match begins. That's Team Jharkhand. And of course, the likes of Jharkhand has got a few big names to watch out for, which will be very intriguing to be honest. The final hurdle before the match begins. And once again, jersey number 13, jersey number 14. For Jharkhand, they will, of course, be playing a very crucial role, considering the fact that they are the most experienced players at the side. I'll quickly introduce you to them. They are Punita Kumari and Sangeeta Hansak, known for their prolific shooting prowess. If you also take a look at the bench strength for Jharkhand, the likes of that's the substitutes once again. We were talking about Kalpana Kumari, is another very, very experienced customer. And the likes of Panita Turkey and Sangeeta Kumari, Nisha Linda is another big name in the Jharkhand setup. Attacking on your frame from the right to the left, dressed in their signature greens, is Jharkhand. Attacking on your frame from left to right, dressed in their signature sky blue stripes, is Ladakh. And it is Jharkhand who gets us underway from the center. And they try to move down the central channel, hoping to find a few openings early on. Ladakh, of course, they didn't really have one of the most savory and ceremonious NFC campaigns last year. But this time, though, they will really like to showcase their flair, their prowess, and most importantly, that spirit, that fighting spirit that they have. A bit of an early infringement being attempted by Ladakh, and Jharkhand, coming good to the occasion, clears their lines without breaking a sweat. It's going to be a throw in favor of Ladakh. It's Riggs and Dolkar. In fact, that's going to be another throw in. Riggs in once again. Handed over the onus to get the ball into the mix, and Ladakh now try to muscle their way into the center. But that has been traded away to safety by Jharkhand. And now Ladakh once again kind of awakening hopes that they can get an early whiff. That's a nice ball sent on to the far right. It looks like it's a long chase, but wonderfully done. That's a decent bit of speed. There comes the cross. The first defender didn't really reach out to that, but the second one was well in position to get the ball out of the play, or rather out of the danger zone at least. But Jharkhand, they are relentless and they'll keep on coming at you unless they are convinced of their shooting prowess, unless they are convinced that they can knock the door down. That's another long ball. This is going to be a long chase for Ladakh, running all the way from the right. A decent run, to be honest. However, the Jharkhand defense stands tall. It was Kranti Orao who was sensational with the ball. And now coming all the way from the left here, Jharkhand has a chance, looking around for a crossing opportunity and some support. There comes the cross, but eventually not the best of crosses. A grounded one, an emasculated one as well. Heading away straight into the safe hands of the goalkeeper, Ravina. Ravina is another big name to watch out in the stripes of Ladakh. She was in sensational form in the preceding year's campaign as well. The Ladakh defense wasn't really as sound as it should have been. Conceded a bit too many goals, but then Ravina, she pulled off crucial saves, kind of bailing out Ladakh under absolutely necessary situations. Jharkhand now sniffing out the blood on the waters, but then the flag's gone up. So at the moment, they will have to be satisfied by handing over a free kick in favor of Ladakh. They'll take their time, and it's going to be a long free kick. Of course, the idea for Ladakh will be to try and get the ball out of play as much as they can, as frequently as they can. A couple of balls in the fields. Of course, one of them will have to be cleared before we can kickstart proceedings. Once again, watching these young women in action, it tells you how much Indian football. That's a foul throw. That's a throw now which will be taken by Jharkhand's women. And here they come. There comes the cross opportunity. But once again, we were talking about Ravina, someone who's got an impeccable sense of outing, who's got a brilliant grip onto the ball and doesn't really shy away from the chances that comes against us. A very fearless, a very eminent shot stopper in the ranks of Ladakh. Not really the best of starts to the game, though, by both the sides. Is still to create a decent opportunity. But once again, at times, football is all about how you can control the tempo, how you can go forward and then build something from one critical moment and the game changes. A nice chip forward. That's a lovely ball. Ladakh couldn't really clear it, but Ravina comes all the way out of a line. Decent work done, and she eventually picks the ball up. waiting for some support, and she's gonna go downtown. She doesn't want to try and endanger her own defense line. She's seen it previously, learning from her earlier mistakes. And now Ladakh, kind of desperate to keep the possession at her feet. A bit of an entanglement there, eventually bringing down the likes of Padma Rigzin. Kranti with the throw in once again. Padma in front of her, and it's going to be another throw in. Kranti happy to take that. Sends it forward. Well defended. In fact, very well defended there by Rizging Dolka. However, that has been traded away for a throw in. An opportunity with another throw in. Will it be a long throw in? Of course, she's going to take a long run up. She sends it forward. Nicely chested down. I think it had a bit more punch to it than she would have anticipated as the ball trickles out of play. It is going to be a goal kick here in favor of Ladakh. And it's going to be Muskan with that goal kick. I mean, we've seen Ravina taking the goal kick on the move. And now Muskan as well, just tasting her shooting range. Eventually sends the ball almost towards the brink of the other box, where the opposition goalkeeper Anisha Rao was quick to come out of her line and collect that as well. Yet now it drops in front. Well done there. This can be a chance, but Ravina not so easily phased. Did a bit of a delay there in picking the ball up, but she ensured the fact that she had the proceedings under control and there was no real challenge. And here comes Jharkhand once again. That was Sangeeta Hanslak whom we were talking about. A live wire in the field doesn't really bow down, doesn't really give away the opportunities. It's going to be a long throw in here. And it's going to be Kranti Orao. Kranti and Sangeeta trying to exchange the balls between them. And the ball keeps on getting knocked around. This time though, Ladakh does a decent job of taking it as far away as they could. But once again, the opportunity has fallen for Jharkhand. But Ladakh persistent, resolute, as they clear their fences. Sensationally done there by the Ladakh defense, as they keep on fending off a barrage of the Jharkhand attacks there. And that is the learning that we talk about. If we quickly compare the two sides from the preceding edition of the tournament, I think Ladakh is doing a sensational job of defending their citadel, wherein Jharkhand at the moment is still struggling to find a way forward. Jharkhand is one of those teams that has got some tremendous or pretty wonderfully gifted girls. When it comes to football, of course, they can turn the heat on without breaking a sweat as well. But today, Ladakh is making life slightly difficult, even though we are fairly early into the game, just 8 minutes. But kudos to the Ladakh girls, kudos to the Ladakh defense, who's kept the floodgates slammed shut on the faces of the Green Brigade. And here's a chance for Ladakh to come all the way from the left. Can they break free? The idea was right. She wanted to track it into the stride of the player. Unfortunately, it was not going to be. A decent ball now being created. However, that has been intercepted by Ladakh. They want to go forward. It takes a knock. And now Jharkhand coming all the way from the right. Quick throw in here for Jharkhand. They'll take their time though. They want to slow the tempo down slowly, because I think the faster they play, they are making it slightly uncontrollable for them. So when the attacks are coming forward, a bit of a heavy first touches, or maybe not really the most convincing second touches, have allowed the Ladakh defense as well to prove to be pretty pivotal so far in this game. Here's a chance for Ladakh though. Can they break from the left? They cut back into the center, but Jharkhand does well to reclaim possession. That's a nice long ball. Ravina out of a line already and collects it. Two Jharkhand attackers were there in the hunt, but they will never make it. It is a very easy picking there for Ravina. Jharkhand does well to intercept that. A bit of a tussle. And now here comes Jharkhand once again. The ball possession is a lot more predominant at the feet of Jharkhand. Nicely received. But Ladakh does well to keep it away. What they are doing right now, Ladakh, they are taking this game 1 minute at a time. So 90 minutes of action, 90 minutes at a time. I think for a team like Ladakh, who's on the learning curve, it is very crucial that they take all the lessons from the game and eventually incorporate it into their playing style. And that is what they are doing. They are just trying to keep the rudimentaries right. It may not be one of the most eloquent brand of footballs, one of the most fluid brand of footballs that you would see from the women in blue. But what they are trying to do is they're just trying to keep their citadel intact, knowing the fact that the ball shouldn't be crossing the line at any cost. Just keep the belly of the beast protected, and then you can come knocking on the doors. There's a chance though for Jharkhand. This is an opportunity, but the Ladakh defense somewhat crowding forward in numbers. This can be a chance for Jharkhand. But once again, who was quick to get out of a line and then prune down the angle. There was a chance for Jharkhand to try and chip that over her, but before they could, once again, the ubiquitous presence of Ravina working out in favor of Ladakh, eventually resulting in a corner for Jharkhand. Here's a chance for them to try and whip it into the mix. The question is, can they get it rolling? They send it crashing into the mix. Ravina's beaten, and somehow the ball hasn't really gone into the back of the net. The danger still stays alive though, but this time it's going to be a sigh of reprieve for Ladakh and company. It came out of nowhere. It came like a bolt from the blue. And Ravina missed the line of the ball completely, but once again, defending for their lives were the Ladakh women. They stood tall in the line, they stood tall on the line rather, and ensured the fact that no matter the repercussions, no matter the ramifications, the ball doesn't cross that hallowed line. Ravina once again to the deliverance of Ladakh, and I think this is the kind of defense that should really expect from her teammates. There will be times where even she can't prove to be instrumental enough. Here's a chance for Jharkhand though. They'll try and take the shot. Shot taken. But Ravina proving to be crucial. This was a golden opportunity for Jharkhand. I think they couldn't really get underneath the shot. That could have been a bullet if he could have just, if she, in fact, apologies for the same, if she could have just stayed lateral to the ball. What she did was she went underneath the ball, eventually giving the ball a bit of flight and an additional second to Ravina to quickly cover that ground and then collect that. Here's a chance for Jharkhand to keep the ball in their possession, but somehow or the other, Sangeeta Hansta couldn't really do justice to her name, allowing Ladakh to have a throw in. I think at the moment Ladakh is outnumbered. Here's a chance for them though, but Jharkhand does well to waylay proceedings. And here they come knocking on the doors. This is a nice chance. Kranti sends the ball forward. Kind of a push from the back. And I reckon the referee's blown the whistle, is it? It looks like it is going to be a free kick in favor of Ladakh. It's gone against Jharkhand. That goes out of play. It's going to be a throw in here. And here comes Jharkhand once again. From the left, there's an opening out onto that far left. I think she should have spotted that. The idea was to send the ball towards the central channel. I think a bit of a lack of clarity there. She just needed to keep her eyes on both sides. There was a player approaching in the central channel as well, but she took a bit more time. This can be an opportunity for Jharkhand. Nicely knitted forward. That's a lovely ball. Ravina is out of a space. But the shot that eventually came in, that wasn't very powerful enough. That was slightly feeble. And it came knocking on the doors, and that is cleared away. Jharkhand does well. In fact, that has been done brilliantly. The way they came around the ball. Here's a chance for them to knock on the door. There comes the cross, goal scoring chance, and just grazes over the top netting. Only if that angle would have been slightly more curling inside, that could have been a gilded chance for Jharkhand. It's not that they have come close, but Ladakh hanging on by the skin of their teeth, barely keeping the doors shut on the face of that encroaching, of that invasive Jharkhand attacking unit. And I think somehow the Jharkhand attacking unit has lacked cohesion because since that chemistry hasn't been that strong, hence they have came forward more in isolated numbers rather than coming together in all spades and strumps. There's a chance for Ladakh though. Decent bit of body shielding coming in from Kranti Orao that allowed Anisha to quickly come out of her line and collect the ball. Another long ball sent forward. Ladakh does well to keep the ball away. Now coming all the way from the left. There comes the cross. Barely kept away. Jharkhand is still sniffing danger out there. Numbers pouring in slightly more, but it looks like it is not going to be the best of chances. There comes another shot. But that was a shot on the turn, and ideally when you're taking a shot on the turn, it is not really the best of shots that you can expect. You need to be very careful about your point of connection, about kind of power that can come from the shot. So yes, a shot on the turn is usually the last resort when the ball is somewhat going out of your control. And that's not really the best of goal kicks there from Ravina, but it does fall at the feet of the Ladakh player. Does well to steer around, sends the ball forward. And now Ladakh trying to bomb forward, trying to sniff out an opportunity. Amongst the melee of Jharkhand boots, the ball has fallen at the feet of a Ladakh player. And she tries to control it. It looks like it was Muskan. This can be a chance. And as the knocks on the doors were getting louder, Anisha Rao was quick to come out of her line. Here's another lovely ball. This can be a brilliant opportunity, but again, that first touch proving to be the letdown for Jharkhand women. Here's a chance though for Ladakh at the moment as they chase. Anisha quick to get out of a line. Not really the best of collections. Miscommunication between the defender and Anisha. I think if the defender was coming forward, the call should have been hers, that she was going to get the ball and Anisha didn't really need to come out, or maybe just close down the angle slightly. But what Anisha did was, she went for a full-blown challenge. Riggs in Dolka with a throw. Not really the best of throws. Ladakh has a chance. There comes the shot. And somehow or the other, Anisha has barely clawed it away. That could have been trouble. The first real sign of intent from Ladakh. And Anisha barely clawing that away once again. It was Riggs in Dolka unloading a shot. But Anisha throwing a body to the right. Eventually clawing that away. Just in the nick of time, or Jharkhand could have been under some serious trouble. It would have been a historic moment, and eventually this time Ladakh, the goalkeeper of Jharkhand, Anisha Orao, does an excellent job. Came out of a line, collected the ball. But now Ladakh, growing in confidence, growing in stature, but does well this time. The ball has been cleared away. There's an opportunity. Sends the ball towards the left. Here they come knocking on the doors again. Jharkhand has a chance. From the right, looking for support. There comes the cross, but the angle was once again extremely acute. Very difficult for her to price out what could have been a substantial cross. Yeah, that's a bit of a high boot. That happened right in front of the referee's eyes. I think it was definitely unintentional because the moment that happened, the player instantly went up and wanted to check if she was okay. The idea was to try and clear the ball. And yes, of course, medical help will be needed. We'll wait for that to happen. I think the entire front of the boot must have went into a gut. It can be very agonizing. Well, these aren't really the best of signs, to be honest. I think she'll be stretchered out, which is once again kind of an alarming call. So Jharkhand even may have to go for a substitution. Yes, the stretcher's out. We just hope that she's okay. We just hope that she's all right, because at the end of the day, nobody deserves to be at the receiving end of such an agony. And yes, we are all set to resume the game once again. I think it's going to be a free kick here in favor of Jharkhand. Yes, and it chips it forward. The chance once again kind of fizzles out. It's going to be a goal kick now in favor of Ladakh. A bit of hold up in the play. Again, this couple of minutes of hold ups that we have that can lead to a serious change in momentum, a serious drop in momentum as well for a few sides. Nicely kept on to the right, and Jharkhand does excellently well to keep the ball away from Ladakh and eventually come in. But it looks like Ladakh had more numbers in their side. It's going to be a throw in here in favor of Ladakh, however. Here comes another long throw. Here's a chance. Does well to keep the ball at their feet. Cleared away by Jharkhand. Not significantly enough. The ball still remains in the possession of Ladakh. It's going to be a throw in here. And quickly taken that. Received, and now they try to create something. Will a shot come sailing in? There it comes! Oh! That could have been enough. That could have been a glorious effort indeed. However, just tipped over by Anisha Orao. She's living dangerously at the moment, because every time Ladakh comes knocking on the doors, they are producing something decent or the other. Just a few moments ago, a shot that looked a lot toothless when it initially was emanated. That's a second corner for Ladakh, yeah. That's a second chance for them to try and unload. One into the box. Here it comes. It eludes everyone. And in fact, Jharkhand gets at the receiving end of it. But Ladakh does well to try and recover. They're still on the ball. Jharkhand tries desperately to keep that away. Not really the best of first touches. Yeah, I think that's gone out of play. So it's going to be a throw in favor of Jharkhand. In fact, in favor of Ladakh. Apologies. A quick throw taken in. That's gone out of play. This time, though, Jharkhand will have their say in it. Here's a chance. This can be an opportunity for Jharkhand to try and unload a shot. There it comes. But once again, if you're expecting to beat Ravina from that range, I don't think she will be beaten at any cost. She eats those shots for breakfast and she stands tall under the wood but collects them without breaking a sweat. I think you need to be a lot more precise. I think you need to change your angles, try and come at her from that central channel, get more numbers. I think that is what I was trying to point out. Every time Jharkhand has gone for an attack, gone for an invasion, it's been more on reduced numbers, more on isolated patches. But to be brutally honest, it's also on pretty much of what would I even say? It's also on pretty much of coming together on chances that were fragmented. So maybe if they were a lot more combined, the chemistry was better. That those same chances that were knocking on the doors, I think they could have been well staged, well knitted forward. There's another ball sent forward, trying to control that, but it doesn't really look like they will have the last laugh. Throw in for Ladakh. There comes the throw in. Once again, not really the best of throws, but Ladakh keeps the ball at their feet. Jharkhand, however, intercepting, wresting possession for themselves. To be honest, this has been a pretty lackluster affair. Ladakh will be happy with the way they have defended so far, and also those couple of shots that forced Anisha Orao into action. Here's another outing from Anisha Orao, and she picks it up. Easy pickings for her. She'll try and chip it forward. Here it comes. Nicely done. Jharkhand once again out on the prowl, but not really positive, not really assertive. I mean, the kind of hunger, and to be honest, this game has also lacked tempo because both the sides have played a pretty slow brand of football. I think for them it has been more of a scrappy affair of just keeping the ball away from each other. And Ladakh may have tried their luck from range as well, that has troubled Anisha. Jharkhand has also taken their shots. This can be a chance, though. But once again, sensational goalkeeping from Ravina. She was storming down the line. She knew that if she would have allowed Jharkhand to get at the receiving end of the ball, that could have been a catastrophe downright. That could have been a catastrophe straight away. So eventually coming out to her team's deliverance. Kranti on the ball. Kranti was active in the wee minutes of the game. And now a shot coming all the way from the left. There it comes. A bit of a collision of heads there, but it's good to see that both the players are up and standing. Sangeeta passes on the ball forward, intercepted there by Ladakh, intercepted by Jharkhand. It's a flurry of missed passes, a comedy of errors. This ball could have been better if that would have been knitted on the ground. However, it's fallen for Jharkhand. There comes the cross, repelled away. And as the battle continues, as the fight continues, Jharkhand once again from the right. There comes the cross. Goal scoring opportunity. A brilliant chance goes begging right in front of the goal. A lovely cross floating in from the right. Chested down all right, yes, but then that chesting down was a slightly heavier touch than what could have been a potential goal scoring chance for Jharkhand. Ladakh stays alive. They survive to fight another day, or let's say fight another minute, fight another 60 minutes in this fixture. A bit of a push now. And now they try and come forward. There comes the shot! Mistake for the first time from Ravina, and Jharkhand has reaped the rewards. A bit of a heartbreak there for for Ladakh, particularly Ravina. We'll have to wait and watch as the goal being given. May not be, it may be offside. We'll confirm quickly though. Yeah, the goal is not being given. So fortune favoring the brave Ravina there. I think that was the first real mistake committed by her. By the time she put in the dive, the ball popped out of her hands, eventually allowing Jharkhand to quickly poke it into the back of the net. I mean, they were opportunistic, yes, but at the same time, they were caught in the offside trap, so it was never really going to be easy. And as the flag went up, of course, a sigh of reprieve there for the Ladakh women who's really fought hard until now. It's going to be a throw in. Throw is taken quickly. A bit of a push and shove. Here's another ball sent forward. This can be a chance for Jharkhand. Ravina's out of a line. The shot's taken. And that's been found. And that's found the back of the net, in fact. That is what we were talking about. And it looks like it's Sangeeta Hansak with the shot. I think Ravina's advancement somewhat cost her this goal. She was not sure, and that is why we say that while you're coming out of the line, you have to be very, very clear about what your aspirations are. A half-hearted outing can prove to be very, very costly. This time, though, Ladakh won't have the luxury of an offside flag coming to their deliverance. But a well-taken shot from Sangeeta eventually proves to be the game changer so far. The solitary goal coming from the feet of Sangeeta has propelled Jharkhand to a slender goal cushion. That goes out of play. That's going to be a goal kick in favor of Ladakh, and at the moment, Ladakh will really be trying hard to try and equalize. I mean, they will really take a lot of heart from the play that they have so far knitted forward. Trying their best to find out an outing, to find an outing rather. Again, a lovely ball, a decent ball. Here's a chance for Jharkhand now, but slightly overpowered first touch. The player who was on the tail of that ball could have done better. Jharkhand down the central wing. They keep on coming in numbers. There comes another shot. Bit of a ballooning effort. It goes out of play. In fact, a quick correction. It was not Sangeeta with that goal. It was Malti Munda. Another goal kick in favor of Ladakh. Takes a long goal kick. Eventually reaches out to the player. Throw in here in favor of Ladakh. Quickly taken. Sends it into the center. Nicely brought down. There's an opportunity as they come from the left. This can be a potential chance for Jharkhand to try and find an opening. A nice attempt to dribble past the defender. But once again, the first touch proving a bit too much. Goal kick now in favor of Ladakh there. Takes it quickly. And it has been intercepted. Here's a chance for Jharkhand. This can be a brilliant opportunity though. However, that has been very well shielded by Ladakh once again. The resistance continue. They may have conceded a goal, but they are not willing to give away another. They are willing to fight. They are willing to take this battle right down to the wire. I think that is what you would expect. There's another opportunity now. That's another fine ball sent towards that far right. Can be a glorious chance. There comes the cross, but that was going away. The goal kick comes floating in. Intercepted well enough. And now Ladakh continues to struggle. Does well to control the ball. Steer forward. Here's an opportunity. Looking around for shooting space. Wonderfully done. There comes the shot. And it struck the center of the net like a bullet. Sensationally done there by Jharkhand. And now they are opening up the floodgates. Struck with might, struck with power. And what a brilliant finish at the end of the day. Once again, look at how wonderfully she carved the ball. She created the situation for herself, created the space, and Ravina was nowhere close to the opportunity or close to the chance. It was Babita Kumari for Jharkhand who finds the back of the net and eventually drags the cushion up. And now Jharkhand, they have sniffed out blood. They have got 2 goals in quick succession and they will be knocking on the doors more than you would expect. There's going to be a throw in here in favor of Ladakh though. Briggs and Dolkar with the throw. Gets it into the mix. Not really well collected. Nicely kept the ball in the mix. A bit of a heated exchange. It goes out of play. Ladakh still trying to keep the ball away as much as they can. Here comes the throw in. And a shot taken from Jharkhand. It had a bit of an awkward bounce, but Ravina this time had her eyes on the ball to the last moment. Eventually was not phased and comfortably collected the ball. Here's a quick throw in. And that kind of slams off her face. But Jharkhand, now relentless, unwavering in their hunger for goals. A bit of an entanglement of feet. Nicely kept into the mix. Here comes another long ranger, eventually a long chase. That will go out of play. It's going to be a goal kick here in favor of Ladakh at the moment. As the ball knocks around in that central channel. Here they try to find out an opening. This can be a goal scoring cross. There it comes. Opportunity for Jharkhand to try and extend their lead. They managed to do that. Smashing the ball into the back of the net. In fact, that goal has not been given. The flag went up. I'll quickly show you what happened. Yes, I think the flag has went up. Another opportunity for Jharkhand, and now it looks like the floodgates of Ladakh are coming apart at the seams. And Jharkhand are looking a lot more convincing, a lot more confident. Another long ranger, but Ravina collects it without any real challenges. There was another opportunity knocking on the doors. Quick apologies for a bit of technical difficulties that happened. So sorry about the delay as well. And here's a chance. Kind of headed down. This can be a gilt-edged opportunity, a gilt-edged chance for Ladakh to break free, but it doesn't really look like Ladakh will have a say. 41 minutes, 42 minutes on the clock already. And it looks like they are happy at the moment to just sit back, defend. There's another long ranger. Kept nicely in play. The ball has been sent forward. It's a long chase. Jharkhand will do well to control the proceedings. Eventually does. There comes the cross. Goal scoring chance, but after it eluded the player inside the box, it needed some further cover, and the cover has arrived, but bit from a farther angle. There comes the cross. Opportunity headed, but not really well taken, and a very emasculated effort comes sailing in, which would be picked up by Ravina without breaking a sweat. Here's a lovely ball again, sent forward. Jharkhand kind of desperate to try and get at the receiving end of it. Unfortunately, it was not to be. Here's a goal kick. There it comes. Nicely brought down. This can be a brilliant opportunity knocking on the doors. Again, that first touch not really allowing Jharkhand to get the desired result. Ravina, I think she is contorting in a bit of pain at the moment, and she'll need some medical attention. I'll quickly show you what happened. There comes the first touch. Ravina out of a line. I think while she fell down, she must have fallen down and she must have hurt her thighs, which is again understandable, can be agonizing. She'll quickly receive the treatment. It's good to see that they are back on. In fact, she is back on her feet. 1 minute of additional time is what we'll have, not really too many stoppages in play. Jharkhand still has that 2-0 cushion that they'll really like to protect. Now Ladakh tries to drive forward, not really successful enough. And eventually, after a bit of hard work, the ball goes out. There's another long throw. Quickly taken in. Kind of a struggle, kind of a fight between two. And now Ladakh tries to find an opening from the left. Jharkhand does well to keep the ball in the mix. Trying to attempt a last throw of the dice. Ravina's out of a line, problems and troubles all around, but eventually they can't get past Ravina. They've traded it away for a throw in. And it looks like that is how we will come to the end of the first half. As things stand, it's Jharkhand 2 and Ladakh 0. We will return with the second half, alright, but at the moment, it is Malti Munda and Babita Kumari who found the back of the net as we slump into the halftime. Stay tuned as we'll return shortly after a quick breather. Set with the second half of the contest. The first half fizzled out into a 2-0 scoreline in favor of Jharkhand, and it looks like it is going to be Ladakh who will get us underway in the second half, attacking on your frame from the right to the left, and their signature blues is the women in blue, Jharkhand. Wherein attacking on your frame from the left to the right, dressed in their signature green, is Jharkhand. We are underway here at the second half, and it looks like it's an attempt by Ladakh to try and find an opening. However, the ball's at the feet of Jharkhand. Jharkhand will try and increase the tempo if they could. Maybe just throw Ladakh in a bit more of confusion, leave them slightly dazed and confused. Here's a nice ball. Tries to control that. A bit of a push. Not really well taken, not well cleared. Back with Jharkhand once again. And now they drive forward. But Ladakh as well, trying to come forward, trying to knock on the doors, snatch the ball if possible. That's a fine delivery. Here they come. Once again, Jharkhand from the left. That's a lovely ball, and Ravina once again coming out of her line. This has been her strength. The outings have been absolutely brilliant. There's a bit of an effort now. Tries to push forward. And that trickles out of play. We are live from the GNU Sports Complex. This is the 28th Senior Women's National Football Championship. The first half between, and that's the first game of Group D. So the first half has fizzled out into a 2-0 scoreline, or rather has panned out to a 2-0 scoreline in favor of Jharkhand. And now Jharkhand comes knocking on the doors again. Ravina just keeping her guards up in case if Jharkhand manages to get the possession in their favor. But the referee's blown the whistle. There's a player down who will need some treatment. And it looks like the treatment is going to be prolonged. I think she's clutching onto her shin, which aren't the best of signs. And again, the medico's out there just to ensure that she's all right. Play has resumed, and slowly and steadily the ball eventually goes out of play. Here's a nice chance that they are trying to find, but they didn't really get that opening. Ladakh on the ball. Long ranger attempted. And this is a long chase for Ladakh. Here's a chance for them to try and find an opening, try and sneak one through. Nicely chipped forward. And now Jharkhand once again comes knocking. But Ravina, already well out of a position. No real challenges then. As cool as it gets, as calm as it gets. There's a nice cross sent forward. Wonderfully received. Tries to cut back in. Takes a turn. Then wanted to unload a shot. But a couple of crucial blockades being enacted in her stride. As Jharkhand will have to wait to find that third goal. They have the possession and it looks like it's going to be a free kick in favor of Ladakh. Ladakh now trying to use the right wing to their advantage. The question is, can they use that? Unfortunately, it doesn't really look like. Now trying to use the central channel there, Jharkhand. Here they come knocking on the doors from the right. This can be a potential goal scoring chance. A lovely cross flashes in front. And that could have been a wonderful goal, a wonderful team goal indeed. But at the moment, the citadel of Ladakh, it stays alive. Look at that. It was Babita Kumari with the cross. And knowing Babita Kumari, she is the one who eventually created and then scored that second goal. Here's a chance though. A bit of a high raised boot, but then Ladakh keeps things away from them. Here's an opportunity for Jharkhand to come all the way from the right. There comes the cross! And I think the shot came off, or the cross came off slightly more powerful than the player stationed out there was expecting. The rebound did come in, but it was not to be. Once again, a closer look at that. I think she was slightly underprepared there for that opportunity. Here's a bit of desperation creeping in now. Ladakh somewhat trying to do everything they can to keep the ball out of Jharkhand's reach. Here comes Jharkhand once again. Nice ball sent forward, but the defenders, I think they're absolutely relentless. Here's a nice ball created. This can be a chance for them to drive forward. But the Ladakh defense not really going to budge under the pump. Nice short passes being knitted. A long throw in is supposed to follow in. They'll take their time at the moment, Jharkhand. here comes the throw. Here's a chance for Jharkhand to try and unload a shot, but Ladakh stand very, very tall and eventually gets the ball out of play. I think that is where it gets so special. And now Jharkhand comes from the right. They have support. They look a lot more coordinated in the second half. And the ball trickles out of play. Ravina, she's had a good game, except for the two goals where she didn't really have too much to do, or she was just at the receiving end. Ladakh now tries to find an opening for themselves. It's going to be a throw in 56 minutes on the clock. They're slowly heading towards that 1 hour mark. Here's a chance for Jharkhand to try and unload a shot. But then again, decent defending there from Ladakh. They're just crowding out the women in green. Just when it felt that the women in green had something to look forward to, it was not to be. Tries to control again, but at the moment it looks like it is going to be Jharkhand who will have to defend, considering the fact that Ladakh comes knocking on the door. And the ball sent further forward. Intercepted well enough. Slightly scrappy, but a chance nonetheless. Couple of substitutions happening for Ladakh right now, just throwing in everything they can into the mix. Sent forward once again. Now Ladakh can drive from that left wing. If they can find that opening goal, they'll definitely be happy. Jigmit Palmo has been taken off, and Pushpa Devi has come in. There's a chance for them. However, Jharkhand does well to keep the ball away from that sudden bunch of marauding Ladakh players. And here's a chance for Jharkhand. Ravina comes way out of a line, eventually clears the proceedings. bit of a push and a show when eventually the ball clears the lines. It's going to be another goal kick here for Jharkhand. No real threat, no real challenge, to be honest. And now Jharkhand comes knocking on the doors from the left wing. A possible shot stays on the horizon, and that's ballooned over. A lovely chance was knocking on the doors, could have been a sensational goal scoring chance. Once again, got underneath the ball. Goes straight to the goalkeeper. No real threats whatsoever. Decent work so far by Anisha as well. Whenever she's being asked in the first half, she pulled off a couple of crucial saves. And now coming all the way from the right. In fact, that has been a bit of a howler. There comes another shot, but once again, very, very watery, to be honest. Could have done better than that. And looks like another player for Ladakh has gone down. She'll need some treatment. Yes, the medico has rushed out to the center. Jharkhand now coming all the way towards that central channel, receives the ball, plays it towards the far left. I think the Ladakh player is still asking for a bit of an approval that can she come in. Here's a chance for Jharkhand though, nicely sent forward, but again that first touch, that could have been better. That could have been way better. A quick throw taken in. There comes another lovely cross chance for Jharkhand to try and head that, in fact, slam it into the back of the net. Unfortunately, it was not to be. There's another chance. There comes the shot. Sends it crashing over the woodwork. I think those two goals scored by Jharkhand in the first half, they should ideally be enough. There's another lovely cross brought down nicely. Keeps it under control. This can be a brilliant opportunity, but goes straight to the goalkeeper. The ball takes a couple of drops and eventually goes out of play. That's going to be a throw in favor of Jharkhand, who will take their time. Does well there. A bit of push and shove, of course. Here's a chance. Looking around, but it doesn't really, but it will not eventually help them. Another nicely knitted ball forward, but it kind of pushes each other. It's going to be a throw in. A long throw coming in from LADAKH, 67 minutes on the clock. And as things stand, it's still 2-0. Here comes another lovely shot floating in from range. It was not going to be. Goes all the way back to the goalkeeper. Final 20 minutes of this game coming up. It has been a slightly slow tempo, slightly lackluster fixture. Of course, Jharkhand has tried to find their way forward, but they have been time and time again stopped. This can be another chance. This can be a lovely shot coming in. I think only if they could have kept the shot down, then that could have done them a world of good here. A sensational bit of opportunity coming around, but at the end of the day, it was not to be. Another goal kick here for Ladakh as they are driving forward. Now here comes Jharkhand, but they will be denied by a raised flag. There's a nice little ball created, but that's gone out of play. It's going to be a long range throw. In fact, it's going to be a corner for Ladakh. Yes, a quick bit of prayer offered. Traditions that are being followed in the game, and there comes the throw. Kind of chaos, everybody misses it out. Eventually, though, at the end of it all, Jharkhand does well to keep the ball away from Ladakh. Now Ladakh still has a chance to cut back in. There comes a cross floating in, but goes straight to the goalkeeper. And now the tide turning in a different direction. It's going to be a throw in favor of Jharkhand at the other end. Here comes the corner opportunity. In fact, it was not a throw in, it was a corner. Apologies for that. And that has been traded away for another corner. That's a fourth corner coming in for Jharkhand. Here it comes. He has a chance, eluded everyone, kind of grazed the heads of Jharkhand, almost looking around for a shooting chance, but it was not to be. Brilliant opportunity. Goes begging though. There comes the cross once again. Ravina barely tipping that over. Could have been further problems altogether, but just in the nick of time. There's going to be another corner. It's now a deluge of corners for Jharkhand, and yet they fail to make their way into the center. A bit of push, a bit of shove, but the ball still remains. And now Jharkhand just tries to find their way. But at the moment are being denied. There's an opportunity for Ladakh. Can they unload that shot? Does well to actually elude that marker. And now cut back in sharply. But Jharkhand take care of the defensive maneuver. No real challenges. And now, kind of desperation. There comes that cross, looking around, trying to find a way forward. Ladakh now looks to be slightly more dominant than Jharkhand is. There comes another shot, but that won't be troubling the goalkeeper. I think I spoke a bit too quickly. There was a bit of challenge as the ball was bouncing up, but well taken care of. They'll go all the way back to Ravina. Here comes another long ball. This is another gilt-edged opportunity. Ravina was beaten there, but that has been taken care of by the Ladakh defense. The defensive stalwart, the defensive juggernaut of Ladakh continues to roll. That could have been another serious chance, knocking on the doors, but then it was not to be. Here's a chance for Ladakh though, but that won't really be troublesome for Anisha there. She was quick to get out of her line. Now a bit of a push and a bit of a shove again. 13 minutes of regulation time remaining. Just trying to knit together something. Does well. Rotates around slightly and eventually goes for a long ball. A change here for Jharkhand. It's a free kick coming in for Jharkhand. Just bracing themselves up. Nicely taken. Now trying to find an opening from the right wing. However, not to be. Ladakh defense still stands tall at the moment. Nisha Linda was introduced. The resistance remain somewhat similar from Ladakh. I think they'll be proud with this performance. Of course, Jharkhand hasn't exactly been as they would have wanted to be. Two changes coming in for Ladakh. changes are being introduced in Ladakh will hope, I mean, if not both the goals, they will at least try and find a consolation strike. And Jharkhand, their eyes will be to find that third. There comes a nice shot, but defended. And now Ravina brought into the attack. And the ball once again keeps on eluding everyone. There's a nice through ball. This can be a lovely cross coming in, but it was not to be. Denied. Jharkhand trying to find a way. Deshenangmo has come in. Shonam Charol has gone out. Deshenangmo has got a fair bit of experience under her belt. And now they steer it further forward. Trying to control the ball. Does well. Rin Shenangmo as well came in. Stonset Dolma went out. And now the ball goes out of play. It's going to be a goal kick in favor of Jharkhand. Here's a chance for Jharkhand to try and find an opening, but then Ladakh's goalkeeper, she stands tall. Once again, just finding an opening. And now a crossing chance that Jharkhand tries to get forward. There's ample amount of space for Jharkhand. I think they could have just taken a bit of time. That should have been a lot better. What they did, on the contrary, was just came knocking on the doors from miles away and eventually ballooned the ball into the hands of the goalkeeper. Only if they would have gone a bit more forward, there wasn't really any pressure, there wasn't really any force. Does well to find an opening, do they? There comes another long and fine ball, stalled in its tracks, and Jharkhand, can they find an opening from the right? Does well actually, keeps the ball in, looking for crossing space. There comes the cross into that central channel, plays it back quickly. A nice 1-2 being formulated. Plays it even further right. There comes another cross. There comes the header. Unfortunately, the header going slightly awkward. And that ball eventually doesn't really find out the desired destination. A nice bit of a push and shove there. They continue the struggle. Ladakh has come forward, knocking on the doors as much as they could. And that is what 87 minutes on the clock, 3 minutes of regulation time remaining. The push on the shove still continues. And now Ladakh wants to rush slightly. I think they are a bit too late to realize that the urgency should have come from them. And the ball now sent into the mix, just trying to find a way. A long throw in coming in. Nicely done. Bright sunny day in Amritsar as we arrive to the fag end of this contest. Once again, does well. Changes coming in for Jharkhand just to steal away a few crucial seconds. Couple of players coming in. Jersey number 19 making her way to the center. And this has been a pretty, like a Could have been a more explosive encounter knowing the other teams. 3 minutes of additional time. Pernita Turkey comes in. Priyatama Turkey goes out. Here's a chance. Last roll of dice. Komal Kumari came in for Jharkhand. It's going to be a long throw. Takes it well enough. Final few seconds. Here's a chance. But repelled away. And that is how we'll come to the close of the first encounter of Group D in GNU Sports Complex. Jharkhand will be happy to steal away a 2-0 victory against Ladakh. And it is Multi Munda and Babita Kumari who found the back of the net. A decent match. Probably could have been slightly better, but then when you start a tournament, the tempo remains a bit questionable. And that is all from this contest. This is the full time score. Ladakh 0, Jharkhand 2. We'll return with another encounter which will be happening in the afternoon from 2:30 p.m. where Uttarakhand and Jammu Kashmir will be taking part at the same venue. So do not forget to join us. We'll be back. Till then, take care, stay safe, and be happy.